2.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, softball, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
We're in the 631 today on the Varsity Media Sports Network, where it's 2 programs with championship aspirations. It's the Lions of West Islip. They are the defending champions in Class B, and Bayport Blue Point. They made the final a year ago, hoping to take that one extra step this year. Today's contest is sponsored by Orland and Cohen. Well, pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler alongside Stony Brook women's head coach Joe Spallina for what should be a terrific matchup. And listen, if history, Joe, is any indication here, the last 3 meetings, all by 1 goal, including last year's game that went to overtime. So these 2 teams certainly know each other well, and they play really, really close contests.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. I think when you look at the history of these 2 teams, obviously being kind of located kind of near each other, but the rich tradition of West Islip, you know, and then you have the emerging power of Bayport, and you put those 2 things together with all the great players on the field, it's going to be a beaut.
So West Islip, we'll take a look at those guys now, and when we last saw them, they were winning the Suffolk B Championship, and you know, a little bit of a different look this year. Obviously, some key components graduate from last year's team, including at the faceoff X, of course, in CJ Schwartz. So a little bit different, and also a little bit banged up already. They only played the 1 game to this point, a 1-goal loss to Hopog, but a backup goalie in there. We're a different face-off guy as well. But if we know anything about West Islip lacrosse, it's the tradition is amazing, And when you put on that jersey, there's a certain responsibility that comes with it.
Well, this is an established program, right? This is one with a rich history. So you don't have – this isn't – you might have a guy out, but you have a guy who's been starving for the opportunity. And he's going to have it today, and you look at the the depth of West Islip and their program. And, they could probably – not that any coach wants to have injuries cut through their team, but it's probably one that, that they'll have somebody waiting to go.
And that one guy, too, that we're going to take a look at now, look at our impact players for the Lions, and that's one of them right there, Derek Busking on the left. You see his numbers. This is just from game 1. 2 goals, 5 assists for 7 points. And on the back end, listen, Joe, don't let that smile fool you. Kevin Sonati is a beast. He's a menace in the back. He's a guy whose last season was cut short with an ACL injury, might have been the team's Mr. Defense, going to St. John's to play for some former West Islip greats as well, and the Turry brothers. So we're expecting a lot from both these guys today.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I'm really excited to see Busky. I have a great appreciation for the high IQ player. I think he'll help the coaches as well in the field be able to calm maybe some of those younger guys down. He's such a high IQ player and a creator. So I think the nice thing with him is he can kind of bring, depending on how they're going to play him defensively, it'll be interesting to see how he's able to kind of do so many different things.
Bayport Blue Point 3-0 on the season, coming off of a 3-goal win over West Hampton. They're a team that really they haven't gotten the scoring yet. A lot of pipes, but Doug Meehan, their head coach, I like the looks that we're getting, and that's the important thing. When you get those good looks, those goals will eventually fall when you're doing all the right things, and that seems to be the case so far here with Bayport.
Yeah, Bayport, well, first of all, they're one of the better coached team in the country, the county. So, when you have that and then you have the super talented players they have on both ends of the field, it's only a matter of time, right? And today could be that day. So hopefully, for those guys knowing the pieces they have and the talent that they have and how well disciplined and coached they are, I think today is going to, it lines up to be a great one.
Let's take a look at the Phantoms impact players today, and it starts on the left with Benny Buckets, a Navy commit. And you see his numbers on the year, 6 goals, 4 assists. And on the back end, you talk about lacrosse IQ, and you talk about just being that feared defender, athletic and tough. Mikey Luce checks all those boxes.
Yeah, Mikey Luce is going to be a great one. Going to be, he's got the great size. He's got the great IQ. Coach's kid, so, he's got the ability to shut down the other team's best player, and that's going to be probably one of the key points for us from the booth is, that matchup, who Luce gets and how West Islip will be able to coach around it. And then, Morris is a slippery lefty who's really good at getting to his top side and getting his hands free, and, the coaches do a great job of freeing his hands up. So, when you look at the players to watch coming in, it's going to be, those matchups and who's going to win the matchup, the O versus the D on both sides of the field, and, which coach are able to get their best guys free.
Let's take a look now at, as you see the officials speaking with the captains of both teams. Joe, we'll take a look at our keys to this game for both teams. You spoke with both head coaches leading into this one. And listen, especially against a team like Bayport that's got that explosive offensive guys and multiple guys at that, you've got to get the clears over 90%. Of course, both coaches, whether it's saying 50-50 balls, ground ball, same kind of a mentality there in the middle of the field. Yeah,
and if you look at the keys to the game from the coaches, it's really more of the time of the year, right? This is the time of the year where, people want to be really efficient clearing the ball. They want to be really efficient on the ground balls and things along those lines. And we're going to see some botch clears. It's just part of the game in the early season. You'll see it in the college game. You're going to see it in the high school game. So, it's important for these guys to make stops, especially without a shot clock, and then how efficiently you clear the ball and you're able to settle your team down offensively, because this is a game that in the past has come down to 1 goal. So, that 1 goal happens at the end, but those multiple possessions that you lose throughout or you gain are going to be pivotal moments, as early as the first quarter. And we're excited to see, there's great coaching in this game. It's one thing I could tell you. I know both staffs really, really well. Having my boys gone through, compete against these guys. So you're going to have 2 really well-prepared teams that are really super skilled. And this is about as big as an early season matchup as you're going to get.
Let's take a look at the starters now for both teams. First, for the visitors from West Islip, come in with an 0-1 record on the year. The Busking boys up top, Derek and his younger brother Chase and Jaden Langhorn. You need that kind of lanky lefty, right, to balance out the attack line. That's where he comes in. Quinn Riley, a terrific lacrosse pedigree through his family, which we'll detail throughout this, along with Nick Henry and Nick Clemitas on that first midfield line. Joe Delgado will be doing the facing off today. We mentioned Sonati before. Brendan Oblage, he had the short stick a year ago, short stick D mini. Now he's got the long pole in his hands, and Carmine Vandenberg rounds out the close D. And in the cage, Travis Vine. And this is that next man up mentality that we're talking about, where their regular starter, or their projected starter, the guy who started in game one, Robert Govier, a freak accident during gym, a European handball mishap. So he's out today. So Travis Vine steps into the cage and gets his first varsity start for the Lions.
Rise to shine, Travis Vine.
We'll take a look at the starters now for Bayport Blue Point. As you mentioned, Phantoms 3-0 on the season. Joining Morris up front, you've got Curran and Hannaford. Hannaford's a kid who could have a really big year this year. Again, a guy who was banged up last year, wearing that number 2 jersey, which we'll talk about during the broadcast. Matt Kaiser, he's in that first midfield line along with Trey Thomasone and Danny Aiello. You look at Ryan Athern at LSM, and then you got Luce Dickinson and Coffey, 3 mean dudes with the poles. And in the cage, a guy that his story has been well detailed. Brady Smith, amazing, right? As a sophomore, because of injuries, he plays the field, scores Bayport's first goal of the year as a sophomore. We all knew what he can do in the cage. Has had to share that responsibility the last couple of years, but what we do know is that the Albany commit, it is his cage this year.
Yeah, Brady's a great goalie. Obviously he's super skilled, and it was a luxury for the Phantoms coaching staff last year to be able to play him. Got a little bit of extra man play. Also was able to get on the field with them, having Eric Grant, who's now at Siena. So Brady's a big-time stopper. He's going to be great for Albany.
Yeah, some terrific goalies have come through Bayport Blue Point, and Smith is the latest one of them. Wanted to shout out Tom Corcoran, the West Islip head coach, in his 5th season, recovering from neck surgery. So, Tom, we expect you're watching us here on Varsity Media. We certainly wish you a speedy recovery from that, and looking forward to seeing you back on the sidelines soon. In his stead is one of his assistant coaches, Scotty Matera, who's the defensive coordinator. He's taken things over for West Islip. We go to the face-off X, and it's Benny Buckets. Talk about that selfless attitude that Ben Morris has. Joey said last year, I was tired of just playing defense and not having an opportunity. Give me a chance. So he sacrificed, probably some goal scoring and trained at this position. And then Joe Delgado on the other side, again, the face-off guy for West Islip was injured in game 1. So Delgado, the wrestler, steps in, and it's West Islip with the first possession.
Yeah, that's obviously you want to get that first one. You settle the boys down. Obviously, it's talking about the face-off with Bayport. It's kind of been their Achilles heel the last few years. A super talented team that, in a lot of the bigger games, I just really had a tough time getting possession. So, selfless act by number 4 there, Ben, to be able to train and get himself in a position to get those extra possessions. And, it's going to pay off for these guys.
Yeah, I think it speaks to one of the reasons why he's going to Navy, right? It has that team first, anything for the squad, the sacrifice that's needed. So we expect this to be certainly a patient first possession here for West Islip, as you see Quinn Riley feeds it low to low and right into Smith's stick for his first save.
Yeah, it's a good feel-good save for Bayport to start the game there. Good look there on the wing. West Islip's a team, obviously got that first possession. They're a team used to getting possessions, having C.J. Schwartz the last couple of years. So there's going to be offsides there.
Yeah, Danny Aiello crosses over, and you might as well play defense with that extra guy if you're going to get hit with the 30-second penalty. So free possession here for Bayport.
Yeah, the rule is, too, on that is only the player who went offsides can go, and so they'll be playing right now with an extra defender there. So this is always like that weird spot because the offense wants to go, but the D's got an extra guy there. So, so Bayport will be patient here. They'll look to settle it down. They'll look for a good shot, knowing that they have a man up and a flag on the floor without a shot clock.
That's Danny Aiello, brother JJ, scored the overtime winner last year down at Navy now with Joe Amplo, and Danny will join him along with Ben Morris as well.
Yeah, AJ was a heck of a player over at Navy.
Feeding the crease, not there. Goes out to midfield. Ground ball scooped up, and this possession stays alive. It's Ryan Hannaford.
Hannaford's a player to watch. He's had a big game early in the season. He's at secondary goal scoring, which they're going to need. Obviously with a lot of attention on Ben.
Yeah, that gritty guy too, that ground ball guy that you need to help you win ball games.
A lot of teams, a lot of things what teams will do with the extra defender, they'll play him almost as a backer, so he'll kind of follow the ball around and look to be the early slide guy.
Morris low to low, and he gets the first goal.
Good way to get going there. Number 4 on that off wing, good shot. What I like there, he didn't hesitate, right? He grabbed it, half a cradle, and it was up and out. So they're gonna look to test the goalie early there.
And Morris was sitting there. He was waiting for it, and there you see 4. He'll get the feed from X, and you're right, no hesitation.
Nice play by Kern there too. He looked two-handed, kind of showed that he might be going to the right side, kind of got the D to pull that way a little bit, and then threw it back to 4 there on the wing for the shot. So good job of freezing the defense. And
Curran, that facilitator among that attack line, his 9th assist of the year, and Morris gets his 6th goal, and he gets a face-off win as well.
That's actually Danny Aiello took that one.
Yeah, we'll see probably a bunch of different guys as that shot high by Curran. As Doug Meehan, the Bayport coach, said, Morris has deserved the right to take that first one, but there's like 4 or 5 different guys who we might be seeing at the face-off X today for Bayport.
Yeah, win the face-off, rule the world, right? Those possessions, especially without a shot clock, are huge.
Morris, terrific fake, backs it up. And you talked about matchups show early on. We're seeing 2 of our impact players, at least for a moment there, as we saw with Sonati defending Morris. Also expecting to see a zone look here, especially early in the game from West Islip.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you can see they're in a nice 3-3 zone, a lot of help inside. If you're Bayport now, you want to set up in those seams. You want to look to skip through, and you'll see the Bayport off-ball players are a big part of it, right? They got to be able to show themselves in good spots, present themselves for the passer, and they want to stay active. Those cuts coming from the opposite side are going to be really important against this type of zone.
There's Matt Kaiser. He'll go to St. John's. One more, low to high. There's the first save by Vine.
Good stop there.
Or second save, excuse me.
Good stop there. High to high, saw it the whole way. Great stop, got it right out in a hurry before Bayport could set up the ride, and often they go in 6. That's a nice job by the West Islip defense, stymieing them with a little bit of his own look.
And that's one of the things, too, Matera was hoping for, right? We sit in a zone. Maybe our goalie, who doesn't have that experience, might see a shot from outside that he could save, and now he's got some confidence.
Yeah, I love that. He got it right off to his D midi there, Trauma, right, who's was able to clear the ball and get it up and out for those guys.
This one on the carpet, and there'll be a push. So it'll be Bayport ball.
You get the clearing game now. You got West Islip on a press there. Nice job there.
And this is another part of the game here for Smith, who's excellent in the clearing game. And now here's Morris. Pumps the brakes and gets his guys reset. Bayport, it seemed last year, losing to Shoreham-Wading River in the county final, and knowing what Shoreham-Wading River has back as well, you would say that they're the favorite, but Bayport's right there with them in a really stacked Class C this year. Of course, Mount Sinai as well. As getting topside is Morris. Another nice save by Vine.
Great save by Vine. Great stop. Love that. He's got his hands off his body, was able to make the save. Saw it the whole way. Good job by the defender, kind of getting up on the hands.
And that's Trauma.
Yeah, it's going to be a push from behind. It's going to be a West Islip ball. You see early on, right, Trauma's been a big part of their clearing game. Smart here. Yo Midi will pick it up. Probably look to get Trauma off. He took a pretty good shot in the back there. Bayport drops into a deep right here, stacking the line, so they're going to force them to pass it over. And they do.
So now it's West Islip.
Yeah, Bayport's in. They're looking like they're setting up there. I think West Islip's probably going to look to take a little possession here, slow the game down a little bit. They've played a lot of defense early, and settle these guys down.
As a good look at Nick Henry, feeds it up top, switching hands, jump shot, and the save by Smith. The attempt by Riley.
wow.
Some physicality, flag flies, and looks like we'll get our first man up opportunity.
Yeah, I love the shot by Riley getting to the middle of the field. Heck of a save there, and that's a bang play there. I believe he's gonna. I think that was a heck of a play there. I'm not sure about the flag. I'd have to see the replay, but it's one of those ones that are being called a lot now in lacrosse. Unfortunately, it's you see it a lot in the college game. The big hits are automatically flagged. So we'll see if they decide to lock this in.
Yeah, I didn't see him make the signal for it, but I thought he did point to his head. So it's a 1 minute penalty that we do know. That's Riley there. You see him.
We didn't get the locked in signal like you said. So, it's yeah, so you see now Bayport's setting up on the extra man. They were the flag down before they were able to score. We'll see what kind of formation they're in. Don't look like they're getting into anything just yet. Yeah, they're in a flat 3-3. It looks down a little bit of motion there.
Aiello, time and room, and buries it. Aiello, the man up goal, is giving Bayport the 2-0 lead.
Good shot there. A nice look by Kern on that off wing. I like the way Bayport started in an open set. They rolled into a 3-3, had some good motion there. Good ball movement, not many cradles, and that's really the key to being a good extra man unit. See this look right here. Hit that skip, and 7, Danny Aiello was right in that seam there, able to catch. Again, limited cradling and put the shot in a really good spot, off stick side, low and away.
A year ago, me and in our notes said Danny Aiello was starting to look like JJ. He said now there is no difference. He's hit the weight room. He's big. He's tough.
Danny's a complete athlete. He's going to be a great addition there in Navy, and he'll be somebody in the midfield, help them between the lines especially.
And you see that third different look, right? Mikey Luce getting that face-off win.
3 face-offs.
And that shot off the mark.
West Islip setting back right up into that zone. They've let up, one was a flag down goal and the other one was a man up, so there's no need for them to panic just yet. And they are even, so that penalty was not locked in. Bayport attacking this with a 1-4 formation. So 1-4-1, one behind, 4 across, and then 1 up top, which is a very popular set that you'll try to attack a zone in. It's a little bit tougher for a 3-3 zone to kind of hold accountable the guys, in different areas.
Good ball movement. There's the skip and the goal. Finishing up high was Trey Thomasone, his 5th of the year, and the Phantoms take a 3-0 lead.
Another great look by Connor Curran. Curled up, kind of dragged the guy out of the zone. If you see here, they get good ball movement, right? They're moving it. And then at 1-4, you got to cut a guy through. Curran kind of rolled up into that soft spot and then was able to hit that cross-crease feed, and got the zone going side to side. So, West Islip looks good in the zone. I think one of the things they want to do is try to cut those skip lanes down, holding those sticks in those lanes and kind of make it a little bit tougher for them to see that cross-crease feed. But, good job by Bayport attacking it in the 1-4.
3 different goal scorers, but the same guy setting all 3 up with Connor Curran. 3 assists early on. 50-50 ground ball picked up by Bayport, and the Phantoms will call a timeout.
That was the 4th face-off of the game, and Bayport has sent their 4th guy out there for the face-off. That last one was Dylan Craig, who actually won the clamp, missed a grounder, and they were able to pick it up. And then Bayport saw the importance of calling a timeout there so they can clear the ball efficiently.
So, Joe, in 2021 at West Islip, Bayport Blue Point won 8-7. Gavin Lacasio, 5 goals in that one. A year later here, a 10-9 win for West Islip. Last year, let's show you those highlights. And it was a terrific game that we had for you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. This is Nick Henry. Side-armed lefty. It's all West Islip early on, 7-2. But here comes Matt Kaiser. The dodge, the finish, one of his 3 goals. We're tied at 7. Here's Ben Morris. He'll go low to low. Bayport's got the late lead, 10-9. But here comes West Islip. They're not going away. Pat Keenan rounds the cage, ties it at 10, and now it's overtime. PJ Shanahan, J.J. Aiello, great fake, walk it off. Bayport wins it 11-10.
Yeah, that's a heck of a game there. These two teams, they get together and always have. J.J. Aiello blast from the pass there. Huge goal. It's good. It's the local rivalries are great. And this is obviously a BC game, so these teams wouldn't play each other in the playoffs. Getting back to what you were saying before, it's so competitive, like the stacking of teams. In the Bs, you got Compswag, you got West Islip. East Islip is absolutely loaded. So a bunch of others. And then the Cs are an absolute bear like they always are. So, Sinai will be much different this year. But you have Bayport and Shoreham are probably at the top of the C class.
Yeah, it should shape up to be really interesting, as it always is, come May and June. As little extra here, low to low. Benny Buckets buries it again, his second of the game. And Joe, right off the timeout.
Yeah, you see they set up in a 2-4 clear, right? So two guys were down, one guy was on the ball, one was opposite side, and they went 4 across the midfield. And then West Islip's got to choose how to be able to defend the clear. You see this on the clear here, and it starts with Smith, right? You have a goalie who can handle the ball, and it's quick. Before that zone even has a chance to set up, you see the ball movement. It's half a cradle and a pop, and then you got the guy you don't want shooting for if you're West Islip, right, with his hands free in the middle of the field. So starts with a timeout, starts with being organized there, and then just being able to beat the zone down the field.
Matt Kaiser gets the assist, his second of the year, Morris' second goal of the game. And this face-off is won by Dylan Craig.
That's going to be a flag.
Now, is it against Smith here?
Could be against Smith. That could be interesting because then that backup goalie better be ready.
Let's see. First man up opportunity for West Islip.
This would be a big man up here for a big power play man up for West Islip. You see the hit there. He took a good shot from a couple different directions. Then it was the slash that came in afterwards. For West Islip, it's weird, right? You're down 4, but early, but there's only been one real 6-on-6 goal before they were able to get the defense. And so you don't want to panic, but you also want to make sure you start chipping away here a little bit. You don't want the score to get away from you. So they're set up. They got one guy behind, 3 across, a little bit of a 1-3-2 look. They'll look to push the ball from X and then look to get guys in different spots there.
So it's a 1-minute cross check. And now West Islip, their first man up. They go behind the cage. There's Busking. And another one. Busking to the cage. Dives in front. And Busking finishes.
That's a big-time goal there with the flag down. So we'll see what the call is. It could be an addition. Yeah, it's a 1-minute slash. So you got a man-up face-off coming up here. It's a big-time goal there. I love the sacrifice. Getting to the middle. You see a lot of young attackmen watching out there. You see the attackmen's willingness to get to the front of the cage. Sacrifice his body, get there. He got the defenseman there trying to go over the head here, so Coach Aiello, I'm sure, won't be thrilled with the Bayport guy going over the head, but I love the stick protection by Busking, and I love the guts to get across the middle there and get a big goal for his team. Now, you talk about the importance of the face-off, right? So, West Islip would be a huge time for them to get this one here.
Yeah, the wing play could be so big, right? And that's where trauma comes in. That's where that extra man comes in big.
Yeah, it starts with 29 there, though. What a great job getting that quick clamp. Now you got to change. You go from 4-0 to 4-1. Now you still got a man up here, and you have a chance to the game changes, right, on one play. And that's the great thing about lacrosse.
So let's see what West Islip has here on their second man up.
That was Delgado on the face-off. I want to give my man some props.
Yeah. He's a wrestler, too, so I don't want to get him angry.
Nah, definitely not. And the position is huge, so.
Clemitas gets it back. And there's Busking from X. Fires it up. Step down shot, the bouncer, and Smith makes the save to deny Langhorne.
And Luce takes off up the middle right away. The second the shot was taken.
Pole goal, no! Loose just wide.
It's a good job there. I like the West Islip got it through to the quarterback. He looked to hit the beautiful pass in the seam, and Smith was able to dig that high bouncer out. So it's obviously a big save there. And Bayport now will look to kill that penalty. I think it's just about expired. Yeah, we're all even now.
And Luce, by the way, already 2 goals on the year.
Yeah, he can shoot it. So that's one of those things. You see a lot of times teams will hold with the pole coming down, but when he's coming, you better slide. So he certainly can put the ball in the goal.
He's not like some of those guys that we see. Maybe he would be just staying on and playing offense with the pole.
Hey, listen, if it works.
Yeah.
You see University of Albany's doing it right now.
Right. Morris already 2 goals on the day.
Love the adjustment by West Islip, bring a little bit more traffic over to the forward side of the field where Ben Morris is set up, right? So they're looking to really roll that zone over to where their shooters are. Now you see if they're going to look to push out a little bit more hands on Kern, right? So, who's been their facilitator early on.
Kaiser reaches out for it, gets the ground ball, and just wisely backs it up. Maybe this is the time in the game where, Joe, we say the shot clock is coming next year.
Oh, it's coming. Can't wait.
Morris steps in, fires it high and wide.
And again, you're going to give that shot up. He's about 12, 14 yards out. That's when you want your goalie can see it the whole way. He's going to make that. But Ben can shoot it, so it's like that give and take there, right?
That's Aiello with the ball. He's got the short stick matchup. Switches it to his left. Feeds it goal line extended. Feed in front, and it sneaks past Vine. The goal scored in front. And it looked like was that Curran?
That was Connor Curran. Again, actually, it's funny because I actually was going to say it's interesting that they would bring their quarterback inside, the guy's their facilitator, with Curran having the assist early on. But they brought him inside, and you get Aiello's manipulating that part of the zone, is able to push it forward, and then it's one quick look, and then what you see here is Curran does a nice job of he's inside, and then he pops into the soft spot. So when you're able to pop into that soft spot, you have limited time in there anyhow. So it's a catch and shoot. Being able to bury that in the crease there. But it starts with ball movement, right? It starts with Aiello creating a little bit of a crowd and then being able to push the ball forward there.
Curran goal number 4, that lefty, but he's got that ability to go righty-left, which is why he's at X this year for the Phantoms. Face-off picked up. Trauma, right? Again, the big ground ball.
It's my guy, man. He's playing hard there. So, he's been a big part of West Islip's success there. Real good job picking up that ground ball, no hesitation. That's 2 face-off wins in a row, too, for West Islip, which I like to see. That'll get them back in the game here.
Trauma that got the physicality. Another guy will go righty-lefty. He'll play some D-midi, play some offense as well. Bit of that glue guy for West Islip is inside the final minute now.
Yeah, West Islip's in an open set. You hear them yelling open. So basically they're going to look to probably hold for 1. They're not going to look to rush it here. So as the coaches, you probably say we're going to go into the quarter of 5-1 or 5-2, right? But it's not going to be 6. We're not going to let take an early shot and give Bayport another possession. And you see Busking was the one that was calling that. So you got your quarterback in control. I would imagine they'll probably go through him within the next probably 10 seconds. But they're going after a shorty right now. So you got a little bit of an invert set here.
And maybe that's what Bayport wants, right? Maybe they're going to force something here. As a jump shot and the goal.
That's a big one.
So it works out for West Islip as Clemitas buries his 2nd of the year.
Love that, Clemitas. Again, you talk about coaching, right? And they're organized. It's a program that knows how to win. They held for 1. They didn't rush it early on where they kind of had something going, right? They slow it down. They go to the invert. Or they go after the short stick on short stick. No slide. And that's about as good of a bounce shot, high bouncer into the top corner as you can get. So, that's a big goal for West Islip here. You want to obviously close this quarter out here. 2 face-off wins in a row. This is a big one here.
Clemitas, a guy started at D-Midi last year, football player, right? They've got a few of those guys. Both of these teams do in smaller schools, and this one goes to Luce with 10. Mikey Luce, the feed, the one more. Low shot, just wide.
That was close. 2 seconds ago here, you'll probably look to jam one inside, so no need to chase guys out there. You'd like to see West Islip kind of get more inside there.
And that ball just goes right across the field to end this first quarter. So it's been a fun one. You had Benny Buckets getting things started, Connor Curran setting them up, and then West Islip comes right back. But this is where Bayport does Bayport things. The spin, the low-to-low finish by Morris. And it's Bayport with a 5-2 lead after 1. You're watching it right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, softball, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Dylan Butler, along with Joe Spallina, our entire Varsity Media crew here with you. End of the first quarter, and Bayport's got a 5-2 lead on West Islip. A terrific history of lacrosse, almost unmatched. You'd probably say Ward Melville right here in Suffolk County along with them. And, of course, you mentioned Manhasset and Garden City as well. But take a look at this here. 10 Suffolk championships. You see the LICs, the state championships as well. This is a West Islip team. You go from 2004 to 2013, everybody who graduated, who played for West Islip, either won a Long Island championship or a state championship during their career. They were 2-0-3-13 during those 10 years. Talk about a decade of dominance for West Islip.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible history. So many great players, great coaches. Coach Craig was a storied coach and Hall of Famer. And know so many of those former West Islip guys that crushed it on the collegiate level as well. Obviously know Nicky Galasso really well.
Sure.
He's not alone. There were a ton of them.
And the Terry brothers, of course, and Justin now doing his thing they're both there as Kyle along with Justin. And one thing that's pretty cool too in our conversation with Scotty Matera, the kind of acting head coach, is that almost all but one of the guys on the West Islip staff are West Islip alums. They've all played for Scotty Craig. They know what it means to play for West Islip, as this one goes low to high. Terrific finish at the left wing here by Ryan Hannaford.
Yeah, it's a great snipe there. They were leaving the West Islip zone pinched up a little bit high, so those low posts were there. There was an earlier look that Kern missed with Hannaford on that back wing, and then this one they kind of get sucked in up top looking for those shooters. And he was able to get his hands free inside the football, right around the football hash mark. So it's probably a little tight there, and really good ball movement right now for Bayport. So it'd be interesting to see if West Islip sticks in the zone, or do they come out in man and maybe try to press and try to win some one-on-one matchups.
Aiello with the assist. He's got a goal and an assist on the game. Quite a battle here with the wings. Scooped up. Good GB picked up by Danny Aiello.
Yeah, Danny Aiello's won the last 3 face-offs after West Islip had won 2, so you see that swinging.
Oh, what a fake by Morris as he attacked the crease, and he's got a hat trick.
Tough ground ball by Danny Aiello off the face-off, got it down the wing, hit Hannaford, who then hit Morris streaking down the middle, so before that defense was even set up.
I like this little hesitation, too, by Morris. Right there.
Yeah, that's really good, Hezzy, right there. And you see what Hannaford did, too. He kind of froze the D and kind of made it look like he might be going and then hit that seam on the pass. But Morris was really smart. It's nice you have a lefty cutter to the righty feeder. Stick inside. It's really hard to defend.
So 7-2 lead for Bayport. Interestingly enough, Joe, this was the score last year, but it was the reverse where West Islip jumped out to the 7-2 lead.
That's
big
wild.
Ground ball picked up there by Quinn Riley.
Another face-off guy for Bayport. So I believe that's their 5th guy. That was another pole taking that one. So you saw Luce, take the one earlier, and and another pole just kind of just hopped out there now.
Yeah,
so.
I think that was Pat Ahern. We thought we would see him, Aiello, Luce, Craig, and Morris. It's face-off by committee, and it has been.
And it's
right?
working.
Yeah, it has. It's been working, that's for sure.
Yeah, so whatever it takes, the possessions are everything.
Last year I joked with Doug Meehan, and this year on the call again, I said, you haven't found that guy yet?
Yeah.
You got some great youth lacrosse out here, and he said there's a couple guys, but it's about the physicality of the varsity level. And listen, like you said, if it works, why change it?
Yeah, no doubt. And again, you get West Islip, a team that's used to having so many possessions with having CJ through the years, you know, and so now they're going to adapt to that a little bit.
Henry ducks under and fires it high. Henry, a guy last game or their only game of the year, started at the attack line, but they kind of feel there's more balance with him coming out of the midfield.
Coffee on busking right here at X. So you see.
And Coffee gets it, and he is a mammoth man.
Yeah, it's a nice play by him. Just kind of stick in the lane, nothing crazy. Knocked and it was able to clear the ball efficiently. So it's really good, patient defense. West Islip's going to need a stop here. So we'll see if they were looking like they might be sliding into a little bit of a man here. Waiting for Bayport to kind of sub all their guys on. So we'll see how they set up here.
Coffee is that throwback, right? A little bit of that enforcer on the defense, the one who loves to hit people. Another flag here. And is West Islip offside again?
You also see busking is kind of caught. Him and Luce were kind of playing little cat and mouse. So they were offside. So now busking will go back on the defensive side. Bayport will probably, knowing that they're probably going to hold the ball here a little bit and look for a really simple look, playing 6-on-7 in this case with West Islip being offside.
Here's Morris going at Sonati. Slide comes his way. As it's now Kaiser. Back to Morris. Nice fake. Look at this. Top side, Morris. Nice save by Vine.
Really good save by Vine. Stayed square to the shooter, able to get his stick down, hands off his body, able to to shut that down. That's a great style. I like too. He's a little bit more aggressive there. Vine. He was out at closer to the top of the arc, would makes the net a little bit smaller, and able to close the door there.
So Bayport will get their second man-up opportunity. This for 30 seconds. 1 for 1. Both teams capitalizing with the extra man early on.
Yeah, so there's no lock on the man-up, so they're going to play them pretty straight up here. So you'll look like they'll be in a 5-man rotation. You got Bayport showing a guy behind. They'll probably slide into a little bit of a 3-3 look with the active crease.
And another one. It's funny, Doug Meehan said, listen, Ben Morris is getting shots, and they're just not falling for him. They are today.
Yeah, it's really good team offense there. Not a lot of it's one. I'm impressed with the way Bayport's moving the ball. Really selfish lacrosse, and it's ending up, in the right guy's stick at the end, right? Their shooter's getting at the end of the rainbow there. So that ball movement freezes the defense. It's really hard to get into a full rotation if it's out in a half a cradle. So that's really good man-up offense. I like their changing formations, which makes it very difficult for the defense.
So timeout called by West Islip, and really both of these teams, Joe, have some guys playing some high-level lacrosse. Let's take a look at some of those young men from Bayport Blue Point, and Jameson Smith, of course, doing his thing at High Point. Ringer, we just saw him at Rutgers and UMass. We did that game on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Matty Nyland and Eric Ron, those again, a terrific, almost like an embarrassment of riches at the goaltending spot.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And then you got PJ Shanahan, he's crushing right now. He's starting at St. Bonaventure. They've had a nice little season. It's been really good to see the success he's had. Obviously, with J-Mo Ringer, Nyland, and Eric Ron, but PJ's been really happy for him. He's doing a nice job.
Let's take a look at some of the guys from West Islip playing next level, and a couple guys doing some big things at Yale, right? Alexander on the defensive side, Jared as a goalie, Ryan Barron's also playing Ivy Lacrosse at Brown, Delapizzi in your neck of the woods there at Stony Brook, and CJ Schwartz, of course.
What a group this is, right? You got Mikey Alexander, one of the best. He's obviously great. Jack Delapizzi I see every day in the hallway. CJ Schwartz is somebody who's going to be a huge impact player. A bunch of guys there, right? Like really, really obviously deep pedigree in West Islip. All the great players they've had through the years, and those guys are crushing it at the next level.
Back to the face-off X, a win for Dylan Craig.
Dylan Craig's been 3 for 3, so I'm all about the committee thing. But I think if it's one of those positions. If he's feeling it, it'll be interesting to see, if they keep spreading the face-offs around.
And Craig's a guy too. Was on varsity, Joe, as a freshman. Took off last year because he's a big basketball player, so he wanted to focus on basketball. Now he's back, so still has that rust, right? Of course, but listen, uses those feet and his athleticism, and as you mentioned, a couple or 3 now big face-off wins for him.
Yeah, he's quick on the clamp. That's the whole key, right? You want to grab that ball and get out of there as quick as you can, and then be able to pick up your own ground ball. So he's not relying on his wings, which takes a lot of makes life a little easier.
The skip. And comes back out now to Danny Aiello. Such great balance on this Bayport attack.
Yeah, you got two-handed guys. You got good, really skilled righties, lefty finishers.
And a flag was thrown at the very end.
Yeah, they're gonna call a push. I don't love that one. I think that's a tough call there because the guy's running full speed at the cage. Defender's kind of in a helpless position. I don't agree with that one. You get a look here. Not a lot he could do. That's not much of a push, and the offensive player made zero effort to stay out of there. So that's an unfortunate one.
So it's the 4th man up now for Bayport. It'll be a 30-second one, and I think the West Islip coaches share your sentiment.
Yeah, there's not much there. So that's that's a rough one.
So already 2 for 3, the Phantoms.
Yeah, West Islip's got to get another guy on. Here he comes, coming in late here. They were actually down 2 men at the start of that and having enough guys out. They're good now. Great play.
Really good knockdown. You give credit to 10, Tyler Varicchio, the long pole.
That is a great play. That's what we talked about earlier, right? Having a stick in the lane, knock those passing lanes. It's one of those things. You make that play. The next time the Bayport player has that look, he's going to be a little hesitant there to make that.
And Busking gets the ground ball at midfield. Takes a high shot. Busking stays with it. Great. Feeds the crease in the finish. Busking to Busking.
Things aren't great, right? And what do? You go to your guy, right? 27 makes a great play at the midfield line, draws a foul, right? So now it's going to be a man-up face-off, and able to dump it off to his brother for the great finisher, right? I love how the attackman got in front of the cage. He got his shoulder square. You see this? He's got drawing a lot of eyes, Busking. Head up, draws that half a slide. The attackman gets right underneath and buries it. Now you got a really, really important face-off here for West Islip.
Chase Busking, the sophomore, his 7th goal of the year. Derek Busking, who it's funny, Matera calls him the Peyton Manning of the team, a guy that everyone kind of looks at and you say, he's not the most athletic kid, but by far the smartest on the field. Another coach out there, and he's one who always puts himself in the perfect position to succeed, really motivates his teammates as well. Face-off win for Bayport. That was Ben Morris.
That was Ben Morris, another face-off guy. So that's a big face-off win because they'll probably going to hold the ball here. They're going to look to milk that, get rid of that penalty, right? So, and then they'll look to obviously to play until it's even. So, those are those ones you want to try to get that face-off there, and now they'll wait. Bayport will stall some clock here until they get their player out of the box. So we'll see. West Islip looks like they are coming out of that zone a little bit.
Yes, Sonati there defending.
Nope.
Off the mark with that pass, as it was Morris attempting it, but now we'll see Bayport slide.
Yeah, that's
a
good job.
10-man as well.
Yeah, they got the extra player, so they're going to look to get in that 10-man here. So this is where my Trauma's going to do it. This is where having a D-midi like this is so important.
Trauma, good protection as well.
What a great play there. Trauma. Again, you see that. It's a pivotal part of the game here, right? He grabs the clear. He's like, I'm going to, it's a punt return clear. And that's a big play there because now they get a chance of settling down, slow things down a little bit. It's two stops in a row for the defense, right? And you start to feel good about yourself.
Trauma. Stick on the hands literally by Aiello. And Trauma feeling that one. That was a slash right to his gloves. No flag was thrown. And now Trauma, the training staff comes out.
I hope he's okay here. That was a good, it was a two-hander across the wrist there. So you see the ball fly out like that. he's a thing. You know, I hope his wrist's okay. Looks like he's popping up pretty good here.
Yeah, Trauma is a tough kid. We mentioned before a guy who is a captain for a reason on this team, one who leads by example. And Matera, who's the defensive coordinator, again, the acting head coach, said he's that guy who's not going to delegate. Right? You need something done, coach, I got it. Like, I'm not going to go look to have someone else do it. He's the one who will step on and do the things you need to win a game.
And you can see it here early, right? He's clearing the ball. He's doing different things right there. You know, that was obviously an unfortunate play. They're hoping he's okay. It looks like he's all right. You know, they're walking over. Coach is away from him. Look like the trainer is away from him. So getting him back on the field is going to be really important for West Islip here. Big stop without your top D midi, too, right now, right? They're in the zone again. So you see they're in that flat 3-3 zone. So you see Bayport set up in those seams. You see the wings, the opposite wings. You got 4 on one side, and then you got Danny Aiello on this side.
And there's the goal. So good ball movement, good off-ball movement for Bayport. And the finish by Curran gets his second of the game.
Yeah, so you see they have Ben Morris on one wing, and you got Danny Aiello on the other wing. So they're trying to set up in that seam to make the bottom guys rotate up, right? So the ball comes down, the bottom guy's got to rotate up, and then you saw Curran come curling from behind into that soft spot of the zone. So that's probably got to come from the crease, has to kind of bump over. It's really hard because they're dragging a guy and then throwing back the area that they dragged from, which is good zone offense. You like to see, you know, that's a good sign there for Bayport. They can probably see a bunch of zones. You know, different teams in the C's, I know, like to play zone. Then obviously Comswog's known for their zone. So, you know, their zone offense looks on point here early in the season.
Curran 2 and 3 early goings here for Bayport Blue Point. Face-off win by Aiello.
Yeah, that's the difference right now for me is just the face-off wins.
Low shot, Vine. Nice save.
Great save by Vine.
Ball on the carpet.
Great ground ball and a timeout. Great job there by West Islip coach. 31 does a really nice job of keeping it in bounds, staying square, getting the ground ball there, and being able to get. So Jaden Langhorn, you know, you love that kind of play, right? Big tough lefty. You know, understood the importance of number one, keeping it in bounds. You see a lot of kids that'll rush that, right, and almost push it out of bounds. So for him, he won the box out. Get that scoop, tuck the ball away.
You see there the look there at the West Islip sideline, and Scotty Matera, as you mentioned, right? He's acting head coach again. We certainly hope for a speedy recovery and a return to the sideline for Tom Corcoran and Matera, right? A guy who graduated in 09, played for Scotty Craig, and as I mentioned before, you got AJ Pilati. He's the goalies coach. He's a 2012 graduate. Kyle Kerrigan, a 2010 graduate. He's now the OC. Mike Delgado, a 1991 graduate. He runs the box. Lou Riley's that one guy. He's the one he's a Smithtown West guy who won a national championship at Dowling. He deals with the face-off guys and the wing play, but a terrific coaching staff that West Islip has there as well.
Yeah, tradition never graduates, right? Like it's like one of those things where it's, you know, these guys, you know, you see the elite programs and, you know, across the board, you get obviously West Islip, but having the alums back and the importance of the sport in the community. You see it also like Ward Melville, some of those, you know, areas where, you know, there's a way of doing business, you know, and West Islip is one of those communities that embodies the important lacrosse in the Long Island community, and you know, it's no, you know, they're right there at the end, at the finish line every year.
Now, we mentioned before winning the Suffolk B Championship, losing to Garden City last year in the LIC. Of course, no shame in that. Garden City went on and won another state championship as well. And West Islip, listen, you got East Islip right there this year. We saw them earlier this year, and their squad absolutely loaded. And as you mentioned, right, you can never count out Pete Mitchell's Comswa guys. They're always going to give you a battle.
Yeah, you see right now, let's see how West Islip attacks. It looks like they're trying to set up a little bit of an invert, right, which they had some success earlier on there.
That's chase busking, and you see Smith aggressive off the cage, but as a result, Quinn Riley picks it up and buries it.
Great job by Chase Busking, drawing that slide, dumping, and Quinn Riley with a great handle and a great finish there. That's a tough finish. He made that play look easy. That was not an easy play.
His fourth of the year.
Starts with chase busking, right? You'd be able to dodge a pole. We thought maybe they go invert, be able to get his hands free just enough, and then Riley picks up that. That's a tough play right there with sticks flying all over the place. So great job by one of West Islip's top scorers. And you look at the importance here. You want to try to get some face off here, settle it down. You want to get this within striking distance before the half.
Mentioned Quinn Riley, brother Colin, a senior at North Carolina. Parker, a junior at Maritime. Their dad, Thomas, played at Maryland and Adelphi.
One of my old college teammates.
Great bloodlines
Tommy
there.
Riley,
right?
yeah. All his kids are great players. So, didn't have by accident. A good teacher and dad.
Yeah, I think you know a thing or two about the bloodlines in the sport. Swim dodge, go back the other way for Aiello. Draws the slide in Sonati as the lights have come on here at Bayport Blue Point. It is a chilly late March afternoon. The one more. Can they get him in the substitution game? It's on the carpet.
Bayport running, it looks like their second group of midfielders. There's a little bit of a sub game going on here. Luce was on the offensive side.
And there's Matt Kaiser. We'll detail it during, but the number 2 is a special number for Bayport Blue Point, and it's one of those two where a lot of programs have it because of tragedy or loss, and not the case there, as just a dodge to the cage and the finish by Aiello.
Yeah, Danny Aiello took that alley dodge. It was alley opened up, it leaned in. That's always a nice dodge. It's a really hard dodge to defend because you can only slide. It's really hard to slide to. You see Morris moves it to Danny. He's a righty on that opposite side, so he's able to dodge and lean his shoulder in.
Got the shorty, too?
Yeah, he's got the shorty there. The slide's coming out of the crease. Really hard to slide to that. And, offensively, if it's not there, you always push it behind. And then defensively, it's really, you can't slide from the crease, so you got to come adjacent, which makes it, obviously opens up some other things. So, really, physical dodge there, leaning your shoulder in and being able to get inside those football hash marks or right near them to be able to get your hands free.
Meehan said Danny Aiello is a guy who's been completely unfairly coached here because he's never gotten a compliment in his life playing for Bayport. Just a kid who's bruised and bloodied and just does all the right things as Luce gets that GB.
Yeah, well, you got your dad on the coaching staff. It's tough to get compliments sometimes.
Maybe the car ride home.
Yeah.
Oh, great look. Oh, really good save by Vine. The rebound is potted home. Thomasone gets the rebound. But, man, Brendan Waters was robbed on that low save by Vine.
What a great save. Kick save by Vine. And he'll get the ball on the floor there. And, it was opportunistic finish there. Running right down the middle.
You see it again. Unfortunate for the West Islip perspective, but certainly very fortunate for Thomasone, right? Right to him, and all he had to do is pick up that ground ball and pot in the rebound. Goal number 6 on the season.
Yeah, right place, right time, right down Main Street, right down the middle there, and he's able to get his hands free. But it's great save by Vine to give his team a chance there, and just unable to pick up the grounder.
That was my ride, by the way, here, just down Main Street.
Perfect.
Nice 11-minute drive from Oakdale.
That's not bad, right?
No, not at all.
Mine was a little longer.
11-4 the lead now for Bayport Blue Point. And Dylan Craig.
A timeout, Bayport.
And we'll take it with them as well after Craig gets that face-off win. 1:55 left here, first half. Well, hold on. Hold the phone. Did we get the timeout? Thought we did.
I believe Bayport was probably looking for a trip, which they're not going to get.
There's a good look at Doug Meehan, the Bayport head coach. Meehan in his 6th season, a Sayville grad of 2009. Spent the year as Rocky Point assistant on that Petey LaSalle team, a year as a JV coach here, 2 years as the assistant coach. And as you mentioned, right, terrific coaching staff here at Bayport as well. You got Mike Luce. He was the former head coach here at Bayport, a guy that Meehan says he played against when he was a player at Sayville. You got Jeff Aiello as well. He was an assistant at Islip, the team that won a state championship. So Meehan, a young head coach, but really fortunate to have two guys who have been coaches and have been through a lot of these wars.
My boys are, obviously competed against Bayport. I could tell you Bayport is and has been one of the most organized, well-coached, strategic teams, in the past couple years. And I think the difference for me watching Bayport and having watched them so closely through the years is the face-off X. I think everything else is what we've always seen. You just haven't seen them have as many offensive possessions.
Upcoming schedule here for the Varsity Media Sports Network. We've got Syosset in Cold Spring Harbor. We stay in Nassau County, Southside, in Garden City. Maybe that's a preview of what we might see. Victor girls in Cold Spring Harbor. Victor, a terrific program from upstate. Then we go Del Barton, St. Anthony's, Shoreham, Wading River, East Islip should be a absolute war. And, of course, the rivalry that's unlike many others. Chaminade, St. Anthony's, Port Washington, Cold Spring Harbor, Manhasset girls, all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
That Shoreham, Wading River, East Islip game could be a beauty. Those are two teams that you look at as probably arguably being, top favorites in the BCs, right? So you have a game that means a lot but not a lot because they're not competing against each other in the playoffs for a seed.
There's Matt Kaiser. Hands off to Aiello. He has a short stick matchup. Slide comes. Beats that.
Check.
Really good check.
Great check. Great outlet.
Yeah, 31 for West Islip. And now the Lions are looking to run. Well, we have Langhorne, right?
Yeah, that's, Brendan Oblage, though. I mean, the play he just made there, and then, to take a hit, ball goes back on the floor, pick up that ground ball, and then hit the streaking midfield. That's a great play. And that's a play his team needed, right? You had a minute to go here. West Islip probably going to hold for one. But, you're able to put the ball on the floor, you got to finish the play. And you saw Oblage do that right there. That's going to be big. Hopefully, West Islip can cash it in here. They'll probably hold for one here, probably go after a short stick, I'd imagine.
It's been a transition for Oblage, going from short stick D-midi to having the pole, a couple extra feet there to deal with. But Matera says he's done a really good job with it. They kind of joke with him like, that short stick was too small for you. You're catching and passing really well with the long pole.
Big kid. Looked really comfortable with the pole, so it doesn't look new to me. It's almost good.
He was their Mr. Defense a year ago as a short stick D-midi. That's rare, as we'll have a crease violation against West Islip, against busking. So 17 seconds left. One more chance here for Bayport as Kaiser gets on his horse, checks the rear view. Kaiser feeds the crease. The low finish is there for Hannaford.
Yeah, it starts off, right, with good defense behind the cage by Luce. Then he took off the field, right? So you spark transition, you get these guys going, and then you're able to kind of beat the West Islip team down the field, and you got Hannaford parked on that low post there. But great play by Kaiser there. He's able to push the numbers, efficient, really good, smart pass on that low pipe, and they get, a really big goal here at the end of the half.
Kaiser assist number 3 on the season, and for Hannaford, his 7th goal of the year. An elite finisher, crease guy, and fortunately the last couple of years has been banged up. Had that broken back a year ago, did come back, but was obviously limited. Had a 5-point performance against Wantagh early this year.
We get one here late.
And West Islip will not. They did win the face-off, but it was a first half that Bayport will certainly love. Got some stops defensively and sharing the offense as well. Vine will make this save, but he's not getting the rebound. As Thomasone, one of 5 different goal scorers for Bayport Blue Point, as the Phantoms lead West Islip 12-4 here at the break. You're watching it all on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, softball, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Inside the 10 to the end zone.
Oh, he's got a wide open receiver. AJ Duff. Get out of the way! Dante Torres! End zone. Touchdown.
10-5 touchdown. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs, or call 516-403-2050. Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Varsity Media is offering a video folder that you can customize to meet your needs. A photo of your athlete can be elegantly placed in the front panel. Essential statistics with a biography can be printed on the inside panel, and videos can be downloaded and viewed on an LCD screen for as long as 2 hours. The attractive video folder can be placed on a coffee table and instantly becomes a conversation starter. Order your video folder today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click Catalogs, or give us a call at 516-403-2050. When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, softball, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Inside the 10 to the end zone.
Oh, he's got a wide open receiver. AJ Duff. Get out of the way! Dante Torres! End zone. Touchdown.
10-5 touchdown. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Bayport Blue Point, and how cool is this? Dylan Butler, Joe Spallina, you got the third graders out there.
It's a big one. These kids are having the times of their lives. You know, it's really good. You get two great lacrosse communities and little guys running around aspiring to be the next Busking or the next, Danny Aiello, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and this is the thing that they've done the last couple of years as well. I think it's a great job that both coaching staffs do here. Just get the young kids out here and have them run around at halftime. Super cool.
Yeah, I remember when my kids were that age, and it was like they were at the varsity games and looking at the heroes, and it's it's why these programs are good every year. You got the next wave of stars out there right now.
Let's take a look at some first half stats. Joe, it's Bayport with a 12-4 lead, and you see there 12 goals, 19 shots. That's a pretty good number for a team, again, that hasn't really – this is their high number on the year for goals. They didn't eclipse the 10-goal point yet. They did it in the first half, obviously. So that shooting that Meehan said, the things that he was seeing, they've cashed in here today. Obviously, multiple goal scorers as well. But that's the face-off X is what you were pointing out during the first half. 11 of 16 for Bayport. That's a big number to give you all those extra possessions.
Yeah, I think those numbers kind of, like the shot numbers, they go right with the face-offs, right? Those are those extra possessions. It's when you're winning face-offs, it's easy to go on a run, and when you're not, it's really tough. So it's make it, take it if you are. When you're not, you got to make a stop first. So, I think with 19 shots, there are a lot of them the high-quality shots. So, it's always that could be tricky right there.
Let's go look at Connor Curran. 2 goals, 3 assists. Ben Morris leads the way with 4 goals. And you've got Ryan Hannaford, Trey Thomasone, and Danny Aiello with 2 goals apiece to lead the way for Bayport Blue Point. And for West Islip, you've got 4 different goal scorers. The Busking brothers, I should say, Derek and Chase with 1 apiece. Quinn Riley and Nick Clematas each with a single goal as well. And it's Aiello out of the scrum.
Tough ground ball there. Delgado did a nice job turning it into a scrap.
The skip, and there's the pole goal. Stayed on. Mikey Luce.
Yeah, it starts, tough ground ball by Danny Aiello. Ball bouncing around there. Danny Aiello gets it, throws it down the wing to Curran. Curran curls into that soft spot, throws that diagonal pass to Mikey Luce. And, for a pole there, not many cradles. So it's really soft hands there by 14. They're able to hit that step down right down the middle.
That's on my bingo card, by the way, the pole goal. I think if you went down a list, it would be goalie goal first. I get jacked up for Pinnell, by the way. When he's on the calls, he hates that I talk about this because he's that crafty guy, right?
Trust me, I coached Rob a long time.
All of a sudden, I get crazy for a pole goal. He's like, come on, you're killing me.
Yeah, Rob doesn't like that. Rob used to get mad at our poles and our face-off guys when they shot if they looked him off at the point. So if you're listening, Rob, I feel your pain, buddy.
There's Aiello, another face-off win, and another possession now for Bayport.
West Islip looks like they are into a man-to-man defense now. They come out of their zone. They'll look to match up, and
well, you had called for it too. You wondered at what point that would change.
Yeah, if nothing, even if it's for a possession, just to kind of disrupt the flow that Bayport's in.
And Kaiser goes across the way, and now a downhill dodge for Thomasone. The one more will go for Curran at X. Oh, nice dodge. High shot, Vine, another save.
They wrote it back here. Great job by Curran mirroring the pass there.
Step down and the finish by Benny Buckets.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You see here on the replay is Curran did a really good job of mirroring the goalie, who actually looks like he has stick malfunction.
You see it again?
Yeah, it looked like the bottom string, but so you had the save there, and then watch. You see here the string, the string popped out of the bottom of his stick, so the ball actually fell at the bottom of his stick. Curran was Johnny on the spot there, picked it up, hit Morris in the seam, and to give them, to give Morris probably one of the easier goals he scored. But that's just pure unlucky. The bottom string of his stick popped out. You know, that's a tough one there for West Islip.
Morris, a kid who Doug Meehan says probably the quietest, hardest worker that he's ever coached. So he's not that, like Mikey Luce is that vocal guy on the back end of things, and there you see him trying to get after busking, but Ben Morris, that quiet leader up front.
Yeah, that's a good face-off win there, too.
A good pass. Trauma to the cage? No. Crease violation.
Looked like he was pushed. Let's see. They're going to fix the goal here.
Are we going back to the Maryland-Michigan game on the weekend?
Don't get me on that inside crease on the college game. That cost Syracuse a game there early in the year.
It did.
Woof, they got to get rid of that inside crease.
At least they went to a replay this year where you can challenge. Not yet in the Big Ten. They'll do that in the postseason, but at least that's a step forward, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think just to clean some of these rules up there, I think you want to take – you know, it's nice with the shot clock. The pace of play is great. Love the pace of play tonight, too. Both teams are playing it.
Feed from X. Taking the contact, and the finish is Matt Kaiser. I love that he lowered the shoulder, and then he lowered the boom with the goal.
Yeah, great shot by Kaiser. Off stick side, you get the lefty goalie. You hit him on the off hip there. And it starts with, you get that two-handed attacking, right? You got Daniela dodging the alley. He pushes it through X. You catch the righty, quick switch lefty, hits the seam. Kaiser catches it, a little step down, right hitch, get to the middle, and shoot from an off-stick side. So really good offense by Bayport. They're putting a lot of stress on the man-to-man attack in the alley, forcing them to hedge, right? They got a hedge adjacent on that where they hedge from Kern, and it opened his hands up to make that feed.
Good look there at Kaiser a moment ago. So about 7-8 years ago, they wanted to create a tradition for a number, right? As I was saying in the first half, a lot of times programs, those numbers sadly kind of come from tragedy or a death, and not the case here. You want to kind of honor a guy who's really a really good guy off the field and on the field as well. And it started actually with Sal Lacasio, a 2018 graduate who kind of just epitomized everything that Bayport wanted in a player, that lefty attackman who turned out to be the best D-midi, and a guy who played through a torn hamstring. And when they did the ball hunts, he was the guy going 100 yards down the field to get that loose ball. And so it kind of started with him, as that's a shot off the cage. And then
great play by Vine on the run out.
It continued in 2019 with Mike Grogan. In 2020, it was Logan James. In 2021 and 2022, it was Gavin Lacasio. And last year, P.J. Shanahan, a guy who Meehan said really epitomized the number 2. So Kaiser's got that number this year.
Yeah, I happen to know Macklin. He's a really good kid, so he epitomizes what Bayport was looking, to establish that tradition there. Good play there, West Islip. Vine gets the run out. Vandenberg picks the ball up quickly. Really smart, heady play, getting it to Trauma on the clear. West Islip settles now into their offensive set. So, this is one of those things as a coach you want to just chip away here, right? You can't play the scoreboard because that could be tough. So I think right now West Islip's going to string together some good possessions on both ends.
And at the PLL, where you're not getting those
no two-pointers.
No two-pointers here. You got to, like you said, just chop away. And here's Nick Henry.
This is a good opportunity to find out, number one, what you guys are made of, right? How they're going to deal with some adversity. And number two, find out what works for you against a good opponent.
Henry, nice knockdown by Luce.
Stay West Islip. Good play by Luce. Early slide there. They went really early to the invert. So they went shorty on shorty behind at X, and Bayport was looking to try to flush that out. Luce did a nice job of covering that pass lane.
I have the feeling that, Joe, when we show that graphic in the next couple of years of those next-level players, that we're going to be talking about Mikey Luce just being a monster for BU.
That was a great pickup for BU. You look at his size, his strength, his ability to get up and down the field. He does everything really well at a high level.
It reminds me of a Drew Miller that we saw the last couple of years with Northport.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think
step down, fired wide.
Yeah, Mikey, obviously, he'll play a little bit, but play more close defense, I believe, at that next level. But look at his size. That translates really well. He's got the ability to drape on a guy, but he can also match feet, right? So he can play different types of attackmen.
And now he's got Busking off the pick. Stayed with Busking.
Great job by Busking here. He ran the pick. He got the switch. Now he's got the shorty behind. So you see Luce a little uncomfortable now. Busking has the shorty. Now Bayport defense is uncomfortable.
Slide comes. That was a little bit late and just missing that shot. The backup wasn't there. And it will go to Bayport.
They didn't score, but that's about as good an offense as we've seen all day from either team, right? Like, they got the switch, right? They played the big little there behind the cage, got the switch, attacked it, hit the backside. Unfortunately, didn't get the finish.
Now Bayport looking to clear. They do just that, as that's Brendan Waters. Guy didn't get a lot of minutes last year, but has had an excellent offseason for Bayport this year.
That depth is important. You know, you want to be playing lacrosse in the May and June. You got to have those guys. Teams get banged up. You know, you have a lot of these teams are playing midfielders up and down the field, two-way middies, and you're going to accumulate some injuries. So,
and a lot of those guys for Bayport, especially, they're facing off. So
exactly, we know that could be very you beat your body up.
So some patience here for Bayport Blue Point, looking to go 4-0 on this young season.
They're in man right now. You see Danny Aiello is looking to dodge that short stick.
He does that. Step down shot. Fired wide. There you see Curran. He's always been that pass first guy, and they've kind of challenged him this year to look for your shot a little more, especially from X. And here he is around the corner and just kind of took a slight deflection off of that crossbar, no backup, so West Islip ball.
Yeah, good job by West Islip. They're playing much better defense now in the man. I like the way they're looking in the man-to-man.
And that'll be a failed, so not quite. Busking gets the ground ball. So I thought it would be a failed clearance, and Busking, Johnny on the spot, gets the ball.
And that's the nice thing, right? The score's tough right now. You see Busking, he hasn't stopped working, and he's ready to make that play. He runs up and be able to beat the Bayport defender to that and get his team to play some offense. Last possession, I like when they went with that big little behind the cage. We'll see if they go back to that.
A year ago, West Islip went 13-6. They lost 10-6 to Garden City in the Long Island Championship. That after a 10-6 win over East Islip to win the Bees. And we mentioned, of course, C.J. Schwartz at the face-off X, but you also graduated Cole Sparks, the attackman now at Limestone, and Patty Keenan at Fairfield. And now, like you mentioned, right, next man up in early season, just you're not going to shy away from the schedule, that is for sure. And they lost a tough one 2 days ago to Hauppauge, 14-13, a kind of an up and down, back and forth game. And here comes Bayport with some numbers. Kaiser goes crease, and Curran with the finish.
Yeah, he did. Oh, quick, right? That's what Bayport looks really good in transition. Their spacing is really good on those attackmen. Not a lot of wasted steps, not a lot of wasted passes. So they pushed the numbers there, and I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing out of Curran.
And they see Kaiser.
Heady play by Kaiser, though. He's not trying to do too much. He's trying to get – you see he's running a little bit of a zigzag up. He's trying to get guys to bite. If it's not there, he's going to kick it down the side. But Curran gets behind the D, and he's in that perfect spot to take one quick cradle and get to the middle of the field and dunk it.
3 and 5 now for Connor Curran. And Meehan said, listen, as much as he loves to feed, we've told him, listen, you be more aggressive, get to the cage, you've got even better opportunities to feed the ball.
But, you talk about what the quarterback does. You see Busking earlier, right? And you got Curran now. It you take what's there, right? If a team's going to slide early, you're going to pass. If a team's not going to – if they're going to slide late, you got to go to the cage. So – and then if you can get a couple in transition, that's even better. Those are those ones that add up.
Now some added time here for Brendan Waters. Getting to Morris and back to Curran.
West Islip in that man. I think they've looked really good defensively here in the second half, better defensively, and being able to kind of play a little bit more man and get get Bayport a little uncomfortable.
I mentioned that wild game against Hauppauge where Hauppauge led 7-2 early. West Islip came back, took a lead, then Hauppauge scored.
Great play.
Ground ball picked up. Here comes Sonati the other way. Another knockdown, and that by Morris.
Good play. Sonati getting up the field. I love that extra hustle. Even though he lost the ball, right? The ball got knocked down. He's able to make that hustle play, get it to his team. I guess they didn't touch it in time. That's a rough one.
There's Smith. Got to kind of feel for him too, right? Where we showed you the guys that came before him and has had to share. First, not even getting in as a sophomore, even though really highly touted on the club circuit and for his age group. And Matty Nyland and Eric Gron before him, and then had to split reps with those guys last year. And now as a senior, it's his cage.
Bayport's got they've got a rich history of goalie play, and Sal Lacasio, a legend, was a big part of the youth program in Bayport. So, I think it's one of those things where, it's funny, like certain communities have, a lineage of face-off guys or goalies or, this is a goalie place.
Oh, great look. And the finish at the crease. The goal for Hannaford, and it was Aiello with the feed.
Similar to the dodge we talked about before, right? He got down the alley, really hard to slide to. Physical dodge, Danny Aiello. You'll see him. He's got the short stick, right? So they're hedging there. Ben Morris, the guys, there's no need to switch, and he gets right inside the football hash marks, forcing that cross crease slide. And then you got, obviously Hannaford hanging on the back pipe there. He's going to make that, that's a high percentage shot, obviously, but an elite pass by Danny to go cross crease on that.
I mean, it says Hannaford maybe smaller in size, and obviously on a team that you've got some big committed players. Maybe gets overlooked, but figures he'll have a massive year. 3-1 on the game here today.
Nice win by Joe Delgado. Love it. He didn't get the clamp right away. Was able to fight for it, win the box out, draw the hold, and give West Islip a chance here to chip away a little bit.
Yeah, Delgado facing off today because Chase Bedell out injured, where it's funny, Matera said Bedell's one of those face-off guys, just has a temper, right? So maybe he jumps a couple times or loses a few and just wants to go knock guys over. And that was a little bit of the situation against Hauppauge as flags fly. As nice dodge, high to high, save by Smith, but West Islip will go on the man up.
Yeah, it's going to be a push from behind with possession, I believe. Nice little take there by Busking, able to get underneath at X. They're Bayport's out extending. He gets underneath and able to kind of dip under, which puts the defender in a tough spot there and draws a push from behind. Nice pass, though, still getting a double and getting hit.
Did we get no, I thought we might have got two. I'm not, but just the one, I think.
I'm with you on that. I see what you're hinting, and I kind of agree. I thought that could have been another one, too.
Well, there, you know what? I think we're right. Looking over, there's two in the box.
There you go. We saw it, okay?
Yep. So you're right. Are we locking one in?
Yeah, they're going to lock that second. It looked like he signaled for the strike
right
to the head. So
yeah.
I thought, I'm going by hand signals. So it looked like he signaled that it's going to be full time.
Yeah, so you the first was that 30-second push, as you mentioned, and then we're locking in, it looks like, for a minute.
So look, it's the end of a quarter, so the clock was running there. So they'll start the fourth quarter on the man up with two-man advantage.
Bayport Blue Points, the Phantoms rolling here at home against the West Islip. It is pick your poison. Aiello, great look across the way. Hannaford, the finish. It's all going Bayport Blue Points way. The Phantoms lead at 17-4. You're watching it all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, softball, and baseball, head to VarsityMediaPass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
welcome back to Bayport Blue Point. Dylan Butler, Joe Spolino, our entire Varsity Media crew. Fourth quarter, and Bayport leading at 17-4, but West Islip with a man up and an opportunity. And Joe, sometimes you play for the next game and the next opportunity. And as you mentioned, you know it well, coaching so many different situations. You want to see what guys are made of in these situations, as that one went low to high and wide.
It's another opportunity here, right? You're up 2 men. Look to play for the easy, right? A little bit, you're moving around. I think you got to, you're down 2 here. They're getting 1 back. You got Busking behind, a little 1-3-2 action. They'll cut the crease.
Busking goes sidearm up to Clemitas. Back to X.
A little drag and throwback like that on the wing shot.
A dodge, ball on the carpet. Good ground ball picked up by Henry. We're going to be even now as that low shot by Riley.
Really good man-down defense by Bayport. Sticks in the lanes, really making it hard, being able to extend, get out on hands, take away the vision of the West Islip players.
There's Busking. Knocked over and a flag.
Looks like it's going to be probably a hold.
Back out to Henry as we get it to X.
Great look.
Step down right in to Smith's stick. One of those, right? You talk about changing levels, and that one was easy for Smith to see. But West Islip another chance now on the man up.
Is the penalty on Smith? Let's see if they gave it to Smith. I don't think so. No, it looks like
I think they're just going to change, right? Some personnel, is that?
Yeah, it's a tough time to warm up on a man down. But they're making a goalie change.
And I think that's who's in the cage here for West? Oh, there he is. It's at 19. So Schneider in the cage for Bayport. Yeah, Andrew Schneider, the junior. Like this guy, he's a hockey goalie, and actually a guy who's been playing through an injury. So where Smith will make a lot of saves with his stick, this guy wants the contact. He wants it on his body.
Yeah, you got to love that. Those guys, those are special breeds. He gets thrown right in there in the man down, so we'll see how the Bayport man down defense. Good ball movement here, West Islip. Great cut.
Oh, great read, too, by Aiello.
Really good. Aiello's grabbed the pole for the man down, so it's an interesting look. Maybe something they look at and try later in the season there, kind of depending if Luce gets a penalty or one of their top poles.
Yeah, just read that really well. And now an opportunity to kill this off.
There shouldn't be too much left. They'll run it out. Aiello looking to get one with the pole there on a little backdoor cat and mouse at the 50.
He's like, Mikey Luce, I see you. I can get a pole goal, too. Bayport, not quite yet, right? That history of course, that West Islip has 7 All-Americans, though, and a lot of those are recent guys.
Yeah,
right? For Bayport, so it's a program on the rise.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think this whole community, right, is kind of between football and lacrosse is an emerging area. So they'll get there. I mean, the communities they love it. So they're all about it. So it's only a matter of time.
And the girls too, they are #1 in the country by USA Lacrosse Magazine. So.
Yeah, they got a great group there, a lot of great players, and it's a lacrosse community out here. So it's.
And Meehan said too, what's been important for his guys is, they're hungry after losing in a county final last year, but pretty much to a man. And again, because it's a small school, you've got guys playing multiple sports. These are guys who have won a Long Island championship in football, who have played for a county championship in basketball as well. So that just breeds a winning culture.
Yeah, it's the same kids, a smaller school, right? It's the same kids that play football together, the same kids that play lacrosse together. It's really hard to say no to practice because you're letting your buddies down. So, I think this community is a lot like some of those Nassau County communities that are embedded in certain sports and really successful, right? I think that's one of the things. Success breed, you're going to have community, young kids all over the place out here right now that want to be the next J.J. Aiello or some of those other guys playing at the next level.
Yeah, that at Cold Spring Harbor as a good example, right? Where guys, I remember talking to Andrew McAdory, and he played at St. Anthony's, but he's a guy too. He said he used to watch all those guys, right, and just kind of wish one day he'd be one of those Seahawks.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mac was Coach Andrew McAdory from the time he was a young kid. Him, Brendan O'Neill, that was our group there. So those guys are pretty good, Long Island guys that are doing really well on the next level.
Yeah, when we do the St. Anthony Chaminade game, when we show you those next level guys, it's pretty sick just to even limit it to kind of 5 guys. I'll give you a little preview of it. A lot of Notre Dame on the one side, a lot of Duke on the other side. So
those are enemy territories for my boys right now. I'm actually headed to South Bend this weekend, so
there you go.
Big ACC game.
So West Islip. One thing that Matera told his guys that, listen, you guys won a county championship, right? So in most games you play, you've got that target. And he said you need to be comfortable with that target, because if not, you're not going to win championships without that pressure on your shoulders. And of course, just the rich history brings enough of that pressure.
Yeah, listen, that's what you guys see West Islip on your schedule. You're getting excited. I mean, with the history and the success of their alums and the teams.
Will Schwartz tries to go high. That's the younger brother of CJ.
Grandfather was Clark Gillies, the great Islander.
That's right.
Wore number 9 as a youth lacrosse player because of Clark Gillies. Scorer, fight, could do it all.
Yeah, and Will Schwartz and CJ as well have that Gillies toughness.
CJ was a great player for West Islip.
I was embarrassed to not know that until Matera told me. And then you look at, CJ's bio at Albany, and it says, his actual name Clark. Right? Yeah, CJ. So good stuff there.
His grandfather, God rest his soul, was always a big supporter and at a lot of games. And
knocked down, and we'll have a flag. See, unlike you, like you're the Islander guy. I'm the Ranger fan, so I
am an Islander guy.
I appreciated what he brought to the game. I just didn't always like it.
The pain is real right now for the Islander fans. So you had to, Clark used to give pain, but that's going to be a hold at Axe. Put West Islip back on the man up, or the power play as we're now calling it.
That's right.
Which I like that better than a man up. Dylan Craig on Bayport is not having it with that call. He's not.
Around the cage, firing. It's Busking with the finish.
Watch this replay. And Busking does a really nice job of freezing the defender, holding the slide by looking away from the goal. He knows where the goal is. The goal doesn't move. So watch. Talk about the IQ, right, of this player. So he's climbing up from Mac, kind of showing like he may throw a pass here. Right, he's kind of looking, pass. I'm good here. I'm going to go, and a little dip and dunk. Get the goalie to bite low and able to dump it in over him.
His second of the day, 4th of the season, was leading scorer a year ago, Derek Busking. I think it was 61 points on the year as West Islip won actually their first B championship. All those championships we showed you, the 10 Suffolk titles, 9 were in Class A all those years.
Yeah, that's actually, I didn't realize that's a great point. Those were all the A schools. Then with the Ward Melville showdowns, remember some of those games.
And just sort of even that dynamic in A changed as you see the penalty here.
Yeah, that's a hold. You can't argue that one. Number 1 got his retribution there. That West Islip team last year, I thought, was a really great job by the coaching staff. They did a good job. They had some losses throughout the year. They kind of got hot at the right time. Started with the face-off and just being really organized, really good coaching staff. And they got hot. They got rolling, and it was actually fun to watch him go on that run.
That went on the carpet, and good ground ball picked up. As it looks like West Islip will get the clear and the kill with it as well.
That was Max Tate, really great ground ball, able to get up the field, get that ball to the attack, and be able to get back. So a nice play by 40 there.
Yeah, Tate, the sophomore, part of kind of a group there that's going to rotate in with Vandenberg and Joe Pace and Logan Reese.
Strong kid, right? Big, tough kid there, able to pick that ground ball, able to show great athleticism, getting up the sideline there.
Yeah, Tate doesn't look it necessarily, right? Just his size-wise, but you're right, just a big dude. He was like the third or fourth strongest guy on the football team that had returning offensive linemen for the last couple of years.
That tells you what, you know.
So final minute here
He's gonna think about
of the fourth quarter. The skip hits the ground. A chase for it. And again, you love the hustle that you're seeing, right, from West Islip. That was Joe Pace, the senior, chasing after that loose ball. And those are things that, you know, we're not surprised, right? It's West Islip, so you're not going to give up on any play. You're going to fight to the very end. It's just in their DNA.
You're wearing that jersey, right? You're playing for all the players that have played, worn it before you. So, there's a right way. And that's the one thing, with that coaching staff. There's that pride is there, right? Those guys have all worn that jersey, and I'm sure they talked a little bit about that in the third quarter. Even like you talk about right now, they're not trying to go. They realize, hey, listen, this ain't our day, and let's just get out of here.
So West Islip, they'll fall to 0-2. They'll look to bounce back in their next game, which will be at Farmingdale. That on March 30th, and then they'll go to West Babylon, take on Penfield, makes a trip down here, and then Bayport Blue Point. They improved to 4-0 on the season. Next up for them, I don't think I have that on my chart here. I thought I had that, but good win for Bayport, certainly. And look, balanced scoring, right? Ben Morris with 5, Connor Kern with 3 and 5, Hannaford with 3 and 1, Trey Thomasone with 2, Aiello 2 and 2, Matt Kaiser with 1 and 2. That's how you win games.
They're balanced, and you look at they have a complete lineup. There are no weak spots in that lineup. They're able to spread the ball around, score different ways. To me, the biggest takeaway watching Bayport through the years is their ability to face off. If they can keep this going, this is a team that could win the county title and get that one that they've been looking to get that monkey off their back. And that's going to be the key. They get it there. They're going to be real tough to defend.
Hey, they don't have to dominate the X, but they go 50%, maybe a little bit better than that. You think they've got a pretty good opportunity to win the game.
Yeah, no doubt. I actually talked to Coach Aiello. He goes, we'll take 50-50 or gold, 40-60. That would still be an improvement. So you can see where the bar is set. But they face off like this. They got guys there, and they got a lot of weapons.
They certainly do. So that'll do it here from Bayport Blue Point. Oh, excuse me. I forgot. We got the Speedy play of the game. I was trying to get Speedy out of here. Speedy play of the game. Listen, improve your speed with Onyx Salva and the team in Garden City. Visit speedislandnewyork.com to book your session today. And this one, Joe, we identified from, I think it was the third quarter, right? And it starts, we go defense to offense here.
It starts with the goalie, right? You get a goalie like with a great stick and athleticism. Boom, gets the ball up and out of the hole, right? You got Macklin Kaiser, really smart, not playing fast, but not playing crazy, right? Out of control. And you get a little dip under, get to the middle of the field, and right there you got Kern for the dagger.
And that's how you finish it. And that is your Speed Island Speedy play of the game. Now that'll do it here from Bayport Blue Point. A lot of fun here. Thankful, Joe, for you to join us here. And we look forward to some more games with you as well. And for our entire Varsity Media crew, our executive producer, Ben Turchin, our technical director, Chris Sweeney, Tony DeMasso, and Travis DeLuise, bringing you all those great moving images from my broadcast partner, Joe Spolina. Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Bayport Blue Point. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.